All right, good morning. Welcome to the garden. I am doing a ton of planting today. I've been planting container after container after container. I have one more set of containers that I want to do, and I want to share with you what I am going to be growing. So sometimes it's fun to create the really full containers that are full of lots and lots of different plants. You've probably seen some of my containers where we've got like a bunch of different things put together, really fun combinations. I just put together some big pots over here and this really cute little guy right here full of all kinds of different things. But sometimes you find yourself in the predicament that I did this morning, which is that I don't really have the right size container for the 3 plants that I want to grow. If I put them together in any of my containers, it would be too small. They wouldn't have enough space. So what I'm going to do is create a little trio of containers, which is another fun option. If you don't have a big container that you can fill with all the plants together, you can do like a few different single containers with a single plant in each one, and I think it's a really fun look too. Excuse all the potting soil everywhere around. We had a bunch of rain, so we got a bunch of water in here, and I'm gonna sweep up and clean this all up once everything dries out. But yeah, I have 3 plants that I want to grow, some edibles and some flowers, and I just didn't have another big container. So I thought, you know what, a look of 3 containers together can be just as pretty as the big container that's all full of all of the plants. So I just found 3 containers that are a step down. So we've got one that's like the biggest one here, and then we've got a slightly smaller, slightly shorter one, and then another little, tiny little pot. And I thought they looked really pretty together and just made this just really nice little step down set of containers. And then we're going to put in the plants. So the first one we're going to grow here is this beautiful gypsy pepper. So peppers are a great plant for containers. They actually do really well. I've had great success with having peppers in containers. I've had them be really, really productive, and you get a lot of fruit off them. But they do need, a decent amount of space to grow. They need some soil. And this guy, I don't want to put anything else even in this container with it, because I think it would just be too much competition for the roots, and I don't think I get as many peppers off of it. This is a gypsy pepper. It's a sweet pepper. It's gonna have like little yellow to red fruit that you can come out and pick, and they say you can just eat this like an apple. So you can just come out, grab a pepper, and just eat it right off the plant, which is really how we love to eat our peppers, just fresh. So let's see here. Great for salads, for frying. I'm excited to try these peppers. And this pot, I think it's a maybe 10-inch pot, and it's pretty decently tall. So hopefully it will be enough space for the pepper to grow, and it'll have some more room. As you can see, it's in a small pot here. This is the Congo lavender. I'm trying to do some repeats in the garden with some of the colors and some of the plants, so we have some consistency. And again, yeah, if I put it in here with this pepper, I just think neither of these plants would do well. It would be too much. So I picked up this little, I think it's like maybe 8-inch pot. And I think once we put the Calibrachoa in here, it'll have a little bit more room to take off, and it'll just fill in this pot beautifully. Calibrachoa is going to be about a 12-inch tall, wide plant, kind of spill over the side. Should be really pretty. And the nice thing too about Calibrachoas is they really like to dry out. They don't want to get too wet. So in a container all by itself, I can actually really control how much water it's getting, and I can make sure that it's getting enough dry time that it needs. And so it may actually do better. And then in this tiny little 4-inch pot here, I think I'm going to put a strawberry. So I have this cute little strawberry left over from my mini kitchen garden pot container, and I thought it would just be cute to have one little strawberry plant. It's also nice and easy to come harvest the strawberries, given that it'll just be in its own container. And I didn't want it to get swallowed up by other plants. I feel like it'd be really easy for a low, small little plant like a strawberry to get easily sort of swallowed up in a container. But this way, It'll have its own little pot. It'll be, one, super, super cute, and then two, yeah, it'll just be easy to make sure that we can both find the fruit and keep the plant happy and it doesn't just get overshadowed by everything. So I'm just gonna plant them in here. I just have these containers filled with normal potting mix. I did use organic potting mix. Since these are edibles that were growing in these containers, I just figured it would be good to use some organic potting mix so that we can keep the garden organic. But you can already see, even from afar, like how cute is that gonna look, right? With the three little pots. I think it'll be great. All right, so I'm just gonna put them in. It's a pretty easy planting too, when you just have them going each into their own individual container. There's nothing really too fancy about that. So let me set up the camera and we'll get them planted. All right, and here we go. I think it looks so cute. So there's always something to, you know, like the full container with all the plants growing together that's beautiful. But then there's also something restful about the single plant in a container, like that little pepper just growing there. I think it's nice to have a mix in the container garden, especially if you're doing so many containers. Like I just am doing lots and lots and lots of containers. So having some mixes, some differences like that, I think actually also adds to the garden too, because then you get a little bit of different looks. There's some space for your eye to rest. All kinds of crazy, super full containers everywhere. It's beautiful, but you need some of those like more simple spaces and simple spots. So I think like just the little simple pepper, the simple strawberry, it's so sweet and cute, and it adds to the full container garden look as well. Like it gives just a little bit of something different. So I'll keep you posted as the season goes. I really am encouraged about the peppers. If you haven't grown peppers in containers, I highly recommend it. They really do, they do very well. As long as, you know, we do have a big enough container for them, but I think that should be large enough for that little gypsy pepper there. They also are now coming up with more and more sort of container variety peppers. I don't know if people are getting more into container gardening, but there's more and more varieties available that are specifically designed for containers. So that's something to look for too. But even if you don't have a big container to fill up with plants, you can still create a beautiful container garden look, and maybe even, I don't know, in some cases, maybe even more fun to have the three there. That would be really cute too, if you just have like a few front steps or a little patio and you just want to have a couple edibles, maybe a flower. It's a great combination. I do need to water them in so that I can kind of like wash all the dirt off of the calibrachoas. And I will say that we just got a bunch of rain last night, so calibrachoas and petunias always look a little sad after the rain, but this is gonna perk back up and be absolutely stunning once the sun comes out and it dries off. So definitely, like, I'll keep you posted on how those do. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.